Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to class tonight. Is everyone ready to paint? Because I am. I'm really ready. We should all be ready. So, to get started, we're going to take inventory first. Make sure we all have the same things. You should have 3 brushes. A big one. Yours will be a lot cleaner than mine because I sanitized all of them. A medium one should have the number 12 on it. And a small one, which doesn't have a number. And if it did have a number, I don't know what it is. Oh well. You should also have a cup of water. Your cup may be smaller than mine, but just make sure it has water in it. I'm not going to tip that over because I did that in Thursday's class and made a mess. You should also have a canvas. Think of this blank canvas as our lives in quarantine. Empty, meaningless, blank. Until we add color to it, and then it means something. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Also, on the back of your canvas, in the corner, somewhere, you're going to find my card. Make sure you pull that card out and save it for yourselves and for future orders. Now you'll notice my canvas has a sketching on it. I'm using a recycled canvas because I kind of ran out. I didn't know all the stores were going to close like they did. And, you know, quarantine is terrible. I don't see it. Uh-oh. Let me know if you can see the live. I just got your message saying you can't see it. Just type in when you can. If not, I'll switch over to a different phone. But I can see myself, so hopefully you can see me too. But I don't want to start without you. Moving on with inventory, you should also have a microfiber towel. We're going to use that to dry our brushes when we get them wet or we get paint on them and stuff. Please don't use these on your face. This is for... Okay, we're in. Yay! Please don't use these for your face. This is for paint today. It's paint. I did not buy towels to stock your linen closet. Also, for those of you that bought this art kit and I missed out on giving you your bubbly, 10% off your next purchase. I'm so sorry. Tonight, I'll be consuming Shutter Home. In no way is this post sponsored by Shutter Home. I just like them. Pink Moscato's my thing. And I know we have a teenager joining us. This is not for you to drink. You can watch mommy drink. All right, we're gonna open that later because I have no muscles, obviously. I'm opening it now. I'm determined. Ah! You will not see me taking sips on this camera because in some part of me feels that might be illegal. I don't know. So we're gonna start with our big brush first. So everyone grab your big brush. Grab your cup of water. Going to get the paintbrush familiar with the water. Get it a little wet, wipe off that excess water. You don't want it too wet. Just moist enough to introduce it to the paint. Now, if you received an art kit, you'll have with you a numbered set of colors that I put in little containers. We're gonna start with number 3. If you don't, I can't see all of your canvas. We're not doing anything yet. It's right here. It's right here. We haven't started yet. You're not going to see the whole thing because my camera's not that big. And I'm new to Facebook Live, so I don't know how to properly position things. So, starting, we're going to start with our blue. If you're at home watching this and you don't have the art kit, any blue will do. But we're going to be using a turquoise blue. So we're going to saturate that paintbrush with this. Get it all nice and globby with the blue paint. And we're going to cover this entire canvas with blue. Okay? So just dive right in and get started. You'll notice that when you first get started, some of these strokes will look a little white and streaky. It's only because we're putting the first layer on. And if you don't think you have enough paint, I promise you that you do. We're going to go about 3/4 of the way down, covering this canvas with blue. So back and forth strokes, up and down strokes. Whatever you need to do to cover this canvas. One trick to elongate the life of paint is to add water, but not too much, just a dab is fine. But if you really want your paint to last you on the canvas, you want to put water on your brush. Make sure that it's nice and moist. So we're just going to keep going down with our blue. If you're just joining us and you don't have an art kit, this works with any kind of paint that you have. You can even do color pencil, marker, crayon, chalk, fingers, blood, whatever. Maybe not blood. So what we're doing so far is going to cover this canvas with blue. We're going about 3/4 of the way down. So I'm going to stop about here. Here's my whole canvas. I'm going to stop about there. Keep it coming down. You can either do back and forth strokes, up and down. I don't recommend circles because then that'll take you a long time. And if you feel your paint running out too quickly, just a little dab of water will keep it going and stretch the paint out to the end of the canvas. I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background. If you can't, it's the only music I'm allowed to play because it doesn't have a copyright. And Facebook would take down my video if I played something with a name. So if you're caught up with me, we've made it down to about 3/4 of the way. That's when we're going to switch colors. So if you are following along with the art kit that you purchased, we're moving into number 4. If you don't have the art kit, no worries, buy it the next time. Just kidding, you don't have to. We're going into our purple. So not cleaning off our brush, we got 3/4 of the way down on this canvas. We're going into purple, dipping right in. We're gonna start where the blue stops, pick up right on top of it. Bring that color up a little bit. About midway till you run out of the purple paint. Okay. So if you're just joining, all we've done so far is picked up our purple, put it on top of the blue, and back and forth strokes about midway. Now we're gonna get some more purple, not cleaning off our brush, get some more purple and finish the bottom. Now I'm sure some of you are wondering, why was this not pre-sketched? Because you are to follow this class blindly. Follow me into the unknown. There are no mistakes in this class. Everything you create is a masterpiece. You are the future, army of one. All the other fun things I can say. Okay, so we're still taking purple, taking this all the way down. I'll pick up the canvas in a second so you can see how far I've gotten down. If my big head gets in the way of this canvas, somebody please let me know. I don't know what my head is doing. All right. If you're still painting, keep going at your own pace. This is not a race. I'm just here for instruction. So this is what we've done so far. We took our turquoise blue all the way down about 3/4. Then we took purple, went right on top of the blue, pulled that paint up, doing back and forth motions, and then painted the rest of it with our purple. Okay? That's all we've done so far. Hopefully everyone is still with me. I'll take about a 5-minute break. I'm just kidding. It'll take about 5 seconds to get you guys catch up. In the meantime, I'm going to sip, but I'm not going to let you see me sip. Y'all see that? Okay. Hopefully nobody saw that. Oh, that's good. So So if you're just joining, all we've done so far is taken our blue turquoise, we painted about 3/4 of the way down, then we took our purple, put it right on top of the blue, we did our back and forth strokes, pulling that color up, and painted the rest purple. So this is all we have so far. Now it may look a little streaky now, but no worries, we're going to add more layers on top of this. Now that's not dry yet, but we don't want it to dry completely. One trick of knowing whether paint is dry or not is if it's shiny, it's wet. If it's not shiny, it's dry. Simple enough, right? If it wasn't, I can think of another way to explain it, but shiny, wet, not shiny, dry. So if you're done with your big brush, we're gonna clean that off now. So the best method of cleaning I've learned is to dunk and swirl. Dunk and swirl. Maybe not dunk so hard, just dunk and swirl. Then wipe off the excess water on the side. Then we're going to take our microfiber towel, pinch and squeeze. Not too hard though, because you don't want all the bristles come out, but pinch that water off and squeeze the rest of the paint. And you've got a semi-clean brush. Better than what we will end up with. So this is what we have so far. Hopefully everyone has this or something close to it. All right, we're ready to move on. And I know you guys can't see the whole canvas. I'm still new to this Facebook Live thing. I'm so used to having in-person classes. But hopefully you guys can see most of it. And I'll pick it up periodically so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now we are moving on. Back to our big brush. We're going to dip into our pink. If you're following along with the paint kit, that's number 2. If you don't have the paint kit, we're just picking up pink. If you don't have pink, 2 colors make pink, white and red. That was my art lesson for the day. Okay, so what we're going to do now, this is where you have to follow me blindly. There are no mistakes here. Do not be afraid of where I'm about to take you. Trust me. We're going to get a good blob of pink on our brushes, and then we're going to find anywhere on this canvas, and we're going to make some outlines of different shapes. Any shapes. Doesn't have to be anything formal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my brush, I'm just going to dab, make some rigid lines, make some shapes, dabbing all the way across for this first one. Hopefully you guys can still see that. So starting off, just pink, dabbing, make some rigid lines, some weird shapes, all the way across. Okay, that's one. That's all I'm doing thus far. Next, I'm going to take some more pink. I'm going to do this same kind of pattern somewhere else on this canvas. I think I'm going to go right here. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm just going to dab it across in little jagged lines. But this one I'm not going to take all the way across. I'm going to stop about midway and come back. Still giving some jagged lines. Okay? Oh, it kind of looks like the Upper Peninsula. That's cool. I'm such a Michigan person. I'm gonna do the same thing, grab some more pink paint, go on this side. So we're dabbing, making any shape we want. Anywhere we want. Oh, that kind of looks like a dinosaur. Can you guys see? And then pulling it back to where we started, just dabbing. Dabbing, 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 dabbing. Okay? So far, if you're just joining us, what we've done so far is we've done our turquoise all the way 3/4 down. We did our purple, picked the color up, painted the rest purple. We took our pink, we made jagged lines, jagged shapes all across the canvas, and we're gonna keep doing so. We're gonna make one more down here where the purple is meeting the blue. So take our pink, get a nice little glob on there, and we'll do Another one, I'll start over here, right where that purple's meeting the pink. I'm not gonna take this one too far. This one's gonna be a little smaller. Just jabbing the paint on there like that. All right, looks good so far. No, it doesn't. Looks a mess. You guys have no idea what we're doing. Follow me blindly. All right. If you're just catching on, all we've done is adding some pink blobs, nothing more. Now what we're going to do is fill in our blobs with pink. So grabbing some more on that brush, I'm just going to fill that in with very light brush strokes. This blue up top should be dry by now. So we're just filling in those parts. Light brush strokes, like upside down C's, if you would. Just a bunch of those. Now grab some more paint. Just gonna keep filling that in. Now I promise you, when we're done with this, you're gonna look at this painting like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And you did. I'm gonna be so proud of you. And when we are done, make sure you guys send me pictures of your finished product. Be proud of these masterpieces. So we're continuing to fill in, making little upside down C's. Or I guess it would be a C laying on its back. This upside down would just be the same letter. Oh wow. I promise the wine's not kicking in yet. Maybe. Okay, so that one's filled in. Now I'm gonna move on to the next one. My little dinosaur. Fill in my dinosaur. Doing my C's all around. If at any point you guys have a question, just type in question and then we'll stop and I'll make sure I answer that. I'm still checking in to see who's joining us and who has questions. If you are just joining us, you can follow along with your own paint supplies, whether you have markers, crayons, paint, chalk. We mentioned blood earlier, but that was just a joke. Please don't paint with blood. That's not cool, guys. Then we're gonna fill in this blob too. I keep touching wet paint. So we're filling this in, making our little C marks, doing happy clouds, like Bob Ross. While other kids were watching Price is Right when they had to stay home sick from school, I was watching Bob Ross. And I know you're thinking I learned everything I know about painting from him. I used to hate his guts because he was so good. And I was intimidated to watch him. But then one day I pulled up my big girl panties and I said, you know what, I can paint just like him. I can't, but I still had the confidence. That's what matters. Now we're just filling in these shapes with our C's. All right, we got one last one down here. We're gonna fill that in with pink. Filling that in with my C's. All right, if you've gotten that far, don't clean off this brush just yet. Hold it in your left hand, take your right hand, and sip some wine. Yeah, that was good. So with this brush, with the pink still on there, if you're finished following these instructions and you filled in your little pink weird shapes, we're gonna take the same brush that has our pink on it and kind of a mix of purple. We're going to dab it very lightly into the water. Very, very lightly. Rub off the excess because we don't want a whole lot. And what we're gonna do is start blending in the edges of these blobs we just made. So we're gonna take that same method of our C's and just kind of pull that and blend those down a little. Very light C's, just all around those edges you just painted. All we're doing is making those edges a little softer. Okay. Same around here. Just little C shapes, making those edges softer. Sorry if you guys hear aluminum foil in the background. Dinner is being made. I'm going to eat as soon as we're done. So little C shapes all around those edges. Just kind of blending those out, making them softer. Around this one, little C's. Around this one, around the bottom here, making our little C's. Just little C's. Now, if your paint's like mine and you get to this last one and you feel you're not pulling a whole lot of paint out, just dab it back into the water just one tiny time. Wipe off the excess. And then make your C's around that last shape. Telling you guys, you're going to be so shocked when we're done with this. Not even going to know what to do with yourselves. Today we are all professional artists. Welcome to the guild. Okay? So if you're just joining us, we'll do an overview of what we've just done. We've taken our turquoise, we've covered the entirety of this canvas up until 3/4. We took our purple paint, we pulled that up into the turquoise and finished off with purple. Then we made some jagged lines and shapes with our pink. I made 4, I don't know how many you guys made. And then we took our pink, dipped it into the water, wiped off the excess and made C's, blending in those edges, making them softer. Okay, that's all we've done so far. Now all I'm doing is just going back around where I see gaps. Just kind of cleaning those up, making sure everything looks like it blends. C's. Lots of C's. Not like your grades, right, Samaya? Just kidding, I know you're a good student. I kid. Cleaning up some of those edges with our little C blots. Okay, we're gonna clean off this brush now, so we're gonna do our same method of what we did earlier with the blue and purple. You're gonna dunk and swirl. Dunk and swirl. Continue to dunk and swirl. Then wipe off all the excess on the edge of the cup. Then we take our microfiber towel, pinch and squeeze, but not too hard. We don't want the bristles to start falling out. Pinch and squeeze. Pinch, squeeze. All right. Again, if I'm going too fast, let me know. I will slow down. Not a problem. No one said anything, so we're moving on. So now that we've taken care of our weird shapes here, what we're gonna do is start to focus on these blue and purple areas that we did earlier with our mixed into our pink. We're gonna take our blue, get a nice amount on the brush there. Then where we just did our blending, we're just gonna kind of fill in some of those spaces. Just making little C's. Filling in some of those spaces. making our C's. Okay, I'm gonna grab some more. And just gonna continue on making those C's. Getting right into where those pink spots were. Getting those C's right on top of them. Grab some more paint and more C's. Got those C's. And continue down here with our C's. And grab some more paint. And when you get to this part where it starts to mix with the purple, you're gonna make some C's here. See how light that comes off on that purple? Oh, can't see it. Right in there. Comes off really light in that purple. That's okay. We want that because we're gonna blend that pretty soon. So let's go where this blue is meeting the purple. Put our C's down. Then right on top of that, we're gonna pick back up our purple. Not cleaning off the brush, putting purple right on top of that and blending those C's together. Just like that. Blending those C's. Right on into that blue. Then the rest of the way down, the only color you're gonna need is purple. And do the same method with your C's. Grab some more. See if I can pick this up and hold it while I paint. And do more C's. Now you're gonna see while you're making these C's, some of that blue is gonna come out, but it's blending really, really nicely into that purple. That's why we didn't want to clean off that brush. And we like all these different colors. Some more purple. Just doing our C's. A little more. That is pretty. I know you guys look the same, just as pretty, just as cool. Maybe better, who knows? Almost done. Blending in those C's. Okay, this is what we've done so far. Yeah, look at that. While you guys catch up, I'm gonna take a little sip, but you won't see it. Maybe you saw that one. All right. How are we doing? You're doing good. Okay, we're gonna clean off this brush. So we're gonna dunk and swirl, dunk and swirl, dunk, swirl, dunk and swirl. Wipe off the excess water that we don't need. We're gonna take our microfiber towels, pinch and squeeze all that excess paint off. Hopefully your arms and hands are a lot cleaner than mine. I'm a little messy when I paint. That's why we have aprons. Hopefully you put those on before I got started. Hopefully if you didn't, then best of luck to you. Okay? So if you're just joining us, all we've done so far is painted our entire canvas blue. We made it about 3/4 of the way. Then we blended that color up with purple and pulled it all the way down. Then we made our funny shapes in pink filled those in. Then we went back around to our blue, did our C's all around, blended it back into the purple, and continued on with our C's. Are there any questions so far? No. Okay. We're going to move on then. So we're going to go back into these pinks. We want these pinks to pop, but if you can see, like in this area here and this area here, mine is a little shiny. So we know that means it's still wet. So you want to be careful when you're repainting those areas, because if you paint wet paint, yeah, I said that right. If you paint wet paint, you're going to pick up the color instead of blending it. For example, this part is wet. If I were to just paint on it, I've picked up that color. Now there's a gap. So that's what we don't want to do. So to avoid that, you can add even more paint on the brush or avoid the area completely until it's completely dried. So all we're going to do is pick up more of our pink. I'm going to have to pour some more because I don't have as much as you guys. We're going to go back over those same areas using our C method. So my wet areas are over here in this corner. I'm going to avoid that. Let's continue on with my C's. Okay, I'm just about run out, so I'm going to add some more of my pink. Continuing on with my C's. Be careful of those areas that you see that are wet, because the color will pick up. Now we're not looking for perfect coverage here. We just want to reintroduce this color, make that pink pop a little more. Stay. Now we only want the brightest shade of pink up here at the top. We don't have to do so much on the bottom ones. We're still gonna pick those up and repaint them, but we don't need as much. That was the bottle, not me, I swear. Alright, so I'm gonna get some more pink and continue on with these shapes here with my C's. But I think I'm gonna use what's left on my brush. I don't think I'm gonna dip anymore. I think I'm gonna use what's left on here. Just doing my C's. Hopefully I can finish this whole shape with what's left on the brush. That area was still wet, so it picked up. Yeah, let's finish that one. We're gonna do my dinosaur one. Now this area here is wet, so I'm gonna try and avoid it. And I keep grabbing the canvas like it's not wet at the bottom. Sorry, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing most days. Just doing some more C's with all that I have on the brush. If it runs out, I want it to run out towards the bottom. So I have the lightest pink at the top and it blends into the bottom. Still with me? Yes. Okay, good, great. All right, and then we have that last one down there. Some more pink. Hopefully you can see where I'm at. And just do more C's across the top. Let the bottom just kind of fall out of paint. Could you be a dear and start the music over? Thank you. I don't know if you guys can see that ninja in the back. That's my boyfriend. More C's. Oh, See, that's where it was wet and it picked up. So I'm just gonna try and cover that a little more. Music's back. Ew. I didn't mean that. That's not me. I don't really do that. Alright, so we've got our pinks back on there. Now that's gonna be really shiny because it's wet. We just went over that. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, we're done with pinks for now. Because I've got more on me than on my canvas. It'll come off later. Acrylic paint will come off skin. It does not come off clothing. So be careful and make sure you're wearing your aprons. So we're going to clean off this brush. Dip. And swirl. And dunk. And swirl. Dip, dunk, and swirl. Dunk, swirl, and dip. Whatever your combo is. Wipe off the excess. And we're going to pinch and squeeze what's left. Get this as clean as we can. Pinch and squeeze that off. Here we go. Almost as good as new. All right. Look at what we've done so far. Looking good. All right, we're going to move on to our medium brush. A number 12 if you have one. If you don't have any other brushes, stick with what you have. Just be careful if you are using a larger brush and know that your stroke sizes might be a little different than what we're doing. Alright, so we have our medium brush. What we're going to do is dip lightly into our blue, very lightly. It's about a French tips amount, lightly into our blue. Now you should have a plate with you. If you bought the IRCArt, you should have a mixing palette plate. If not, go real quick, grab a paper plate, plastic plate, not one of your good plates or your good china. We're just gonna swirl that blue in the middle. Grab a little more. Swirl that blue in the middle. Now we're gonna grab our white. A little more than a French tip. Mix that in with the blue. So now we've got a nice little sky blue going on. Now with this, what we're going to do is make our C's on top of these blue places here. See if I can do this with showing you. There we go. So right on top of that, let's make our C's. And I know this is gonna look really, really bright, but we're gonna blend it real soon. And if you run out, just make more of the mix. A little bit of blue, a lot of bit of white. Okay, once you've gone around the upper part of the blue, pick any part in that blue part, any space, and start making more. Can be any shape, anywhere. Pick wherever you want them to be. Okay? And once we have that, we don't want this paint to dry fully. So we're going to lightly dip our brush in the water, very lightly. Wipe off the excess and go back in and blend that blue in. That blue and white mix, gonna blend that. By blend, all I mean is just making more C's and pulling that color down. Grab a little more water. Keep the same method going right under where you just picked up the blue. And then I made some shapes in here. I'm going to go back and do this. Then I did this one, so we'll go back and pull that one down. grab some more water and finish over here. So a little bit of water, wipe off the excess. Start pulling those colors down. Okay, now using water only, dip back into the water with your paintbrush, wipe off the excess. You still have a little bit of that light blue that we had earlier. You're gonna make more of these shapes anywhere on the canvas. Make sure your brush isn't too wet though, because then it'll start dripping down like mine just started to. If it does, just catch it like you would Windex falling from a mirror. Go back over those other areas. Do some down here. Can you guys see that? Just with the water. Now we're gonna take our water, dip our brush back into it a little bit, go back to where we just mixed, pick up what we can. We're gonna do the same method anywhere we want in this blue-purple mix. You guys see that? Anywhere we want. Do some down here in this purple. Hopefully you can see that. Let me pick it up. Okay. I'm gonna take some more water. Go back to where I mixed that blue and white. Pick up what I can. We don't want too much. I'm gonna focus in on this purple part here. And add some more of these shapes. Making my C's, blending those colors. I'm just gonna keep blending until the paint runs out. I'm gonna do one down here. Oh, the paint's run out, so I need more paint. Water back into my mix. And then pulling what I can. What's already on that brush. Put those squigglies anywhere you want. Now what we're going to do, stay. We're not cleaning off our brush, we're going to dip into the water just a little bit, wipe off the excess. We're going to go into our white, just a tiny bit of white, about that amount. Mix it right in the middle. Nothing has to be there in the middle, we just don't want that paint to be so heavy. Then somewhere in these areas where the purple is meeting the blue, you want to make that same method of adding your C's, pulling those colors around, then pulling them down, making more C's under the first initial line you made. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna do some more down here. So I'm gonna dip into my water, wipe off the excess, dip lightly into the white, swirl it around in the middle because we don't want the color to be too deep. I'm gonna do some over here where this purple meets the pink. Any of these shapes. And then right under that, just keep blending down until I run out of paint. Making more C's. I don't know if any of you still have no idea what we're painting, but I promise you it'll be good. Okay. Here's mine so far. Now this area in here looks a little lonely, so I'm gonna do some more up there. Get some water, wipe off the excess, dip lightly into my white, mix in the middle, and then do some up here. Then pull that down. Pull that right down. Do one over here. Why not? There we go. Now a few more down here at the bottom. Dip into the water, wipe off the excess, dip into the white just a little bit, swirl it around in the middle. Keep this up so you guys can see. And make some more shapes down here. Then right under that, just keep pulling that color down. Just keep pulling it down until it runs out. Just doing our C's. I don't know how to fit the entire thing in there. I'm gonna do one more over here. So dip in the water. Mind you, we have not cleaned off our brush yet. Wipe off the excess, dip into the white. Swirl it in the middle. I'll do some more shapes over here. And then go right under that and pull that down. Just doing our C's, pulling that color down until it runs out. Right under it. You know what we forgot to do? We gotta take a sip. Let's do that now. No one looking. You guys are watching me, aren't you? Awkward. Okay. So we've made our C's, we made our blends. We've done all that. Looking good, looking good. Now, if you want more of the white blends in there, feel free to put more anywhere you want them. All you're doing is make an initial shape with the white, then you're pulling the color down, blending it in. All right? Does anyone have an idea what we're painting yet? No? No one? I didn't think so. I don't know if you guys are nodding your heads because I can't see you. So now we can clean off this brush if you're done with your white blends. So we're just gonna dunk and swirl. Want this one cleaned off good. There we go. Wipe off the excess. Then we're going to take our microfiber towel, pinch and squeeze, pinch and squeeze. So we get that color off of there. All right. No, we're not making a hot mess. This is a beautiful masterpiece. Be patient. And if all you see is a hot mess, that means you have not taken enough sips yet. So while we're waiting, let's take a sip. No one watch. No one saw that. Okay. All right. Now, if you're just joining us, what we've done so far, it's gonna be really hard to repeat all these instructions, but I'll try my best. We've taken our turquoise. We painted the entirety of the canvas with turquoise. We stopped about 3/4 of the way. Then we took our purple. We blended our purple up into the turquoise and finished off the bottom of the canvas. Then we made some weird shapes with our pink and we filled that in. Then we went back over the blue and the purple, making our C blends, making this color pop more. Then we went into the white and we made some white marks here. We blended those in and pulled them down, pulled down the color as much as we did. All kinds of white blends there. Hold that. Hold. All right. There we go. Looking good. It's looking good to me because I know what we're painting. You guys don't know, but if it looks anything like this or a hot mess, as one of the students said, you're in good shape. This is where we want to be. Hold still. Okay. The next thing we want to do with our clean number 12 brush, we just cleaned this off in the water and we pinched off all the excess. We're going into our black paint now. Do not fear. Black is permanent. Just kidding, not really. It is, but I don't want to scare you. So if you're following along with your art kit, that's number 6. Yeah, it should be number 6. So we're going to take our number 12 brushes, sticking with these. I'm gonna have to pick this up a little so you guys can see the bottom of it. I don't have anything to prop it on. That's okay, I'll pick it up. We're going into our black paint. About yay much of the black paint. And the method that I want you to do is starting the black brush or the black paint on the brush flat, and then when you come up, you're going to twist it so it's upright. Okay? Make sure you have enough of the paint on the brush before you even start doing this. Let me grab a little more. Just a second. All right. So starting on the bottom, I'm gonna hold it as best I can. Starting on the bottom, I'm gonna pick any area I want down here. Hopefully you guys can see. Any area I want down here. I'm gonna start over here since I'm holding this end. I'm gonna start my brush flat. I'm gonna pull it up. Pull it up. Once I see the paint starting to streak, I'm gonna twist it and fill that in more. Pull it up. Like that. I'm gonna grab some more paint. Where's my black? Pick up where I left off. Grab the paint, pull up, turn the paintbrush, pull up. Okay, it's starting to streak there. Grab a little more. Oh, didn't get enough on both sides. Pull up, and here I'm going to twist and turn it upright so the line gets thinner. Finish that off. Okay, that's all we're doing so far. That's it. Now I'm going to pick another area anywhere at the bottom of the canvas. Make sure I get enough of this black on the brush. Number 6, if you're following along your art kit. I'm going to put this one about 1 inch away from the one I just did. Hold my brush flat against the canvas, pull that color up. Once I see it start to streak, I flip it over, fill that in. Once it starts to streak more, I'm going to grab more of the black paint. I'm going to pull up, turn it over, pull up, and then I'm going to go upright. I need more paint. Try that again. Pull the paint up, turn upright, so that line gets a little thinner. Fill that in. Now see right here where I got all blobby? Not a problem. So I'm gonna blend that in. There are no mistakes in this class. And if you do make a mistake, I can't see it anyways. Know why? Because you didn't make one. Mistakes don't exist. There are no mistakes. It's a thicker line, but that's fine. Thick lives save lives. Thick thighs save. All right, this wine is kicking in. All right, so I'm going to make another one of these little shapes over here on my left side. Try and hold this in the middle. Gonna hold that paintbrush flat against the canvas, pull that color up. Once that starts to streak, flip it over, fill in when it started to streak. Once it starts to streak more, grab more paint. Get some on both sides. I'm gonna start where it started to streak, pull that color up, turn the brush, turn it upright, and finish it off. Do that again. Turn it upright, finish that line. All right? So they don't all have to be the same size. Not looking for perfection here. Doesn't have to be the same size. Now I'm gonna let you guys catch up on that part before I move on, because I don't want to go too fast. I know that method was a little tricky, but remember to hold your paintbrush flat against the canvas, flip when you start to see it streak, pick up where you left off, and then once you're getting to about midway, 3/4 of the way, turn your brush upright and continue that way. Grab more paint and pick it up where it starts to streak. Okay? Hopefully that's where everyone is while you guys are catching up. I'm going to take a sip but not let you see it. Ooh, that is good. Again, this class is in no way sponsored by Shutter Home Pink Moscato. But if you're out there listening, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. All right, so if you've made your lines however many you wanted, I just wanted the 3. You can have as many as you want. We're going back into our black. We're not cleaning off this brush. Back into the black. Getting some on both sides here. Now we're kind of going to do the same method that we just did with these trees. Kind of, sort of. As far as going flat to upright, we're just going to turn it on its side. So I'm going to start with the first one that I did over here, turning it so you guys can see. If you can't see, please let me know, because I don't know what you guys are seeing on the other side. So I'm going to start at the base of where the last stroke finished. I'm going to hold my brush kind of upright, turn it flat, and then turn it upright again. Okay? Do it again. Turn it upright, turn it flat, then turn it upright. Okay? Grab some more paint and do that again. Upright, turn flat, then turn upright. One more time. Upright, flat, and turn it upright. Okay? A few more. Make this one a little shorter. So upright, flat, then upright. That one didn't turn out like I wanted, but I can fix it. Here we go. So we're gonna do the same thing on the second stem that we made. Starting at the base of where we left off. Upright, flat, turn upright. All right. Grab some more paint. Turn it upright, turn it flat, turn it upright. All right. some more. Upright, flat, turn upright, and then finish off. I'm trying to fix those streaks that I made. I'm gonna do some more. Turn upright, flat, upright again. All right. I'm going to turn my attention to this side. Do the same method. Don't have to clean off your brushes, still working with the black. Start at the stem or the base of where you stopped, where you left off. Turn my brush upright, flat, then turn it upright again. And finish. Do one on the other side. Upright, flat, and turn it up. Filling in those little gaps. You don't want it to be perfect. You want it to be a little rigid looking. Rugged? Rigid? Rigid, that's the word, rigid. Do some more here. Upright, flat, turn it out. And another one. Upright, flat, and turn out. Do some shorter ones. Flat, then turn out. Maybe another. And put it right there. Flat, and then turn out. Alright, so that's what we should have thus far. Hopefully everyone's still catching on to our method. Remember to turn your brush flat, turn upright. And then when you're doing the leaves, you're turning upright, flat, then twist upright out. All right. Look at that. Now feel free to add more if you'd like, now that you guys know what we're painting. If not, we're gonna clean this off. Stab and swirl. Not stab. Not stab. That's not what I meant to say. Dunk and swirl. Dunk and swirl to clean that brush off. Not stab. Not stab. Wipe off the excess. Take your microfiber towel. Squeeze and pinch. Pinch and squeeze. Whatever it takes to get it off. Last but not least, we have our tiny brushes. Hopefully I packed these in your art kits. I really hope I did. Our tiny brushes here. And if I didn't, you can still use this number 12. Just flatten the end so it's skinny like that. But praying that I did give you these small brushes. We're going back into our black paint. So with the dry brush, going back into our black, covering the tip of the brush with black, just like that. And all we're gonna do is add those fine line details. So we're gonna come off one of these branches here and just flick. That's all we're doing, just flicking. Starting at the tip end and just flick. Just flick. That's all we did, just flicking. You got a big old glob of paint right there. So starting at the tail end, just flicking our way back to the base. Now you don't have to use the method I'm doing of going over because you're facing a different way. Yours will probably be more up front this way. Just flicking. And if it's easier to start from the base out, do that too. I made this one kind of chunky. It's all right. Yeah, so base out works just as fine as tip in. Food's done. All right. So that's all we got. Now we're gonna move on to this one over here. Grab a little more black unless you have some left on the brush. And I'm doing this because of my angle, so I can show you guys what I'm doing. I'm starting from the tip and pulling it back in. That's only going under the branch, not going on top of it, only going under. So from the tip. Flicking, flicking, flicking. I can also start from the base, flick out that way. Flick, 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 flick. I can turn my angle if it's easier. Just set up the canvas upright like this and flick, 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 flick. Sound like paparazzi. Flick, 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 flick. Getting all those branches flicked out. Alright, that's what I have thus far. My branches all flicked out. Ignore my messy hand. My hand is very messy. Alright. Hopefully everyone's still with me and we've gotten this far. We're going to clean off this brush, this tiny brush. We're going to dunk and swirl. That's if I gave you one. Hopefully I gave you one. Dunk and swirl, dunk and swirl. And if I didn't, the medium brush works just fine. All you gotta do to get it to go skinny is pinch it so it looks like a fine tip. I'm so happy my nails are clean. It rarely happens. All right, and we've got that tiny brush cleaned off. We're going back into our black. And this is the most important part. Ooh, this wine is kicking in. Most important part of every painting. Going back into our black. You're gonna find any corner of the painting and sign your name. Sign this masterpiece. Claim it as your own. Hang it in your living room or in your bathroom and think of peaceful times when we used to be able to go outside and go to a place like this with palm trees and a beach. Darn you, Corona. All right, so I'm gonna pick this corner here. You can sign your whole name. I just do my initials. We're gonna do, there we go. If you've ever had a painting of mine, you've seen that symbol before. I swear it's my name. Somewhere in there. And this is our finished masterpiece. Ooh. It's not a ghost, it's just a painting. It's me. All right. I hope you all had fun. I hope you enjoyed. That is the end of my instruction for tonight. Hopefully I'll do this again. I don't know what restrictions are coming our way, but this was fun. So cheers to everyone that joined us tonight. This was a great time. You guys heard the oven beep, so my dinner's done. I'm gonna go eat now. If you have any other questions, feel free to call me or FaceTime me or text me if you have my phone number. Otherwise, thank you so much for enjoying this Intoxi'Paint party.